Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is The Artist Scott, where I teach you how to draw and I use comic books to teach you how to draw. Now if this is the first time you're here at my channel, I suggest you go back to the very first video and start from there, because one video builds up on top of the next until you get to where you are. I use comics to teach you how to draw because there's a lot of drawing in comics, and by the time you draw a couple of comics you should know how to draw. So I'm going to take you through this whole thing. We're going to have some fun. There's also some other arts and crafts involved, and let's continue. We're at the part where we're penciling the comic, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do the whole thing, mostly because I don't have the time. But I did already do layouts. We did this in an earlier episode, so I'm going to use that as layouts to go ahead and get this drawing done. And as you could see, the cover is in the lower half of the page. And what I've been doing, like here you see I did little pencil lines, but what I've also been doing is doing a little folding. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold this over, and we're not going to fold it too tight, not yet, okay? But we just want to give ourselves a sense of where the middle is for this part. And we finally get to use our triangle after I told you in the very beginning to pull it out to get it for us as supplies. And we just continue the line, and we're not doing it dark either. I'm actually kind of doing a little bit darker for the camera. And again, it doesn't have to be exact. It's not going to stay. It's mostly just guidelines. A lot of what I build up to is I'm doing a lot of guidelines and prep work in the beginning, and then I start having the fun. And that's kind of what all this is. And actually, all of it's fun to me, but it depends on which part of it you really, really enjoy. And I really, really enjoy this part. First of all, getting to the penciling part, and then the penciling part. So what I'll do is I'll show you basically where I'm going with this, because this is one part, and I won't have time to go through like everything, and it would just be really like 2 hours of me just drawing, which I don't think is very entertaining, but we'll just go ahead and start with this. Now you don't have to do it this way, but I'm going to start with the cover. And from this design right here, the layout that I did it horizontally, but we're gonna change it to vertically. Horizontally means it goes this way. For those of you who don't know, and vertically means that the comic is going to go this way. And I kind of wanted it to be. When I did this, I didn't really care, but then I said, let me make it this way instead. You can do it this way if you want. There's nothing wrong with that. You actually do it the way you want to. That's the whole reason behind why we're doing this. But I'm just letting you know why I'm making some of the choices I'm making, because I kind of wanted it a little bit more horizontal. So anyway, I'm going to do the first cover. I'm going to do the cover, and up here will be the title. And because I drew this horizontally, I'm going to have to make a little bit of changes because now we're vertical. So he'll be less squat. The legs won't be spread as much in this new one. And I'm just going to lay this out real quick to give you an idea of what I'm doing. I mean, he's still going to have, a wide stance, but it's not going to be as much. And I'm just looking for the shape to lay it down real quick. And then I'll let you see the rest of it down the road. Next part, when we come to the next part, what I'll do is I'll start planning for the next video, and then that'll determine how much I want to draw. and how much I want to leave for you for the next video. Anyway, I'm putting the plane in here, and the alien ship is up here blasting the plane. And then another one of our heroes, who I believe at the time I was calling him our Superman type, but it's not Superman. He just happens to be strong and can fly. And he was the first hero in this whole area here. Now let me move to the back cover. The camera won't really pick up the two. I can fold this. So one thing you notice is a lot of times I do like scraps and notes that get me to the actual making of the comic, and there's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, he's going to be in a different position too. Now here in the back, he's closer to this position, so I don't really want to draw this again, even though I told you just, you could draw the same figure over and over again. This time I'm going to make him kind of jumping at us, okay? So I'm going to have him do this. This is all from our previous lessons, so it's not like I'm doing anything different. And I'm laying in some foreshortening as our hero leaps at us. And it's not meant for anyone to see what's there at this point. At this point, I'm just kind of laying things down. And I should know what it is when I get back to it. But this is just basically getting it on the page in what's known as layouts. There's another, when you start adding more and more detail, that's what's known as breakdowns. And then after that, once you do the layouts, then and then the breakdowns, then you do full pencils. But again, these are just different ways of doing it. You don't have to do any of it the way I'm saying it. So here, now we're on page 3. I'm going to draw page 3 here. This should be interesting. I'm going to put him, let's do this. I'm going to do this line here and this line here very lightly. Doesn't have to be perfect either, because it's just kind of a guideline for later on. And I'm going to put the plane here. And I'm thinking the plane should probably be bigger, but I'm not used to doing mini comics. I'm used to doing regular comics. So I'll make our superhero over here a little bit smaller than what I did initially. That should be bigger and that should be smaller. So I'm going to do that. Where he's holding off the blast from the alien ship, which hits him directly. Energy, because he's being hit, and then the plane's getting soaked as well. And then here, now I also have my notes that explains what's going on. And this was, of course, done in the writing stage. So then up here we've got, looks like I did something twice here. It's okay, I'll leave it for now. A lot of times when you're doing your story, you want to keep moving the story forward. And here it looks like I showed Adam. I guess I wanted to show a close-up of him. I called him Adam. I wanted to show a close-up of him, blocking it, and then pull back the camera to show the entirety of the picture. And then here, I was showing, I'm going to change this around, okay? Here it looks like the same, and here it looks like the same angle, and then this is a close-up, and then that's a pullback. I'm going to change it a little bit. I'm going to do the alien ship on top. I haven't really designed the alien ship, but I'm going to do the alien ship on top, and he's blasting at the plane. And they're both going in this direction. So the blast is coming at the plane. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have a hero coming at him. So the ray blast is already coming out at the plane, which is what I intended to do. The ship, I just changed the angle, and then I didn't have a hero in this one. Sorry, I didn't have a hero in this one, but I'm going to put him in this one, coming towards it. And some of what I'm doing is making design changes to the actual page, and I should talk about that in future editions. But right now we're just kind of having fun. You're just kind of taking what you already did and you're putting it all together. Okay. So here, let me do this. I'm going to make this an L shape. Because this was horizontal, I drew it differently, but I'm going to put a hero here, flying in. Actually, not the hero of the book, the hero who saves the day. He's fighting the aliens. So I'm going to, continue to have him here. And what I'm going to show here is that he smashed a ship, and I wanted to have two others. So I'm going to have him at the top here. I'm going to draw him a lot smaller than I did up here. I'll draw him a lot smaller. And I'm going to have the ship exploding here, right? I'm just laying this down real quick. The actual drawing is going to happen later. And then I'm going to show an alien ship here and an alien ship here. So we could see that our hero just flew straight through this ship and demolished it. And now let's get to the next page. And again, I'm going to do this page, my scrap paper. Excuse me. I always have scrap paper against the board, only because I like the feel of the pencil on the paper. Not everybody does, but some people like to actually draw directly on the board. But it depends on what you like. That's the one thing that's great about this, is you're doing what you like, how you like to do it, and you take tips from other artists, whoever's willing to share, and most of us are willing to share how they do things, and you kind of add it to your repertoire, so to speak. And for those of you who are young and don't know what repertoire is, it just means that you have more tools in the tool shed, I guess is another way of explaining it. But it's for your artwork. Anyway, here's the next page we're going to get to. And it looks like we're actually almost out of time. And not completely out of time, but almost out of time. Again, these are just guidelines, so you don't have to worry too much about them. Keep them light. And what I'll do is, at this point, I'll go ahead and tell you to join us on day 7. I'm going to plan the next phase of the comic book, and as I plan it out, I'll know how much I need, hopefully how much time I need. I shouldn't need that much time, to be honest. But I'm going to plan it out. The head took a lot longer than I expected it to, but I expected drawing the head to take a while because there's a lot to it, And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw between the two to finish up as much as the drawing as I can, but then show you also how I finished it up. So what we'll have is we'll have the ending of this and the beginning of the next one. Thank you very much. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment if you like this. And check out, I should have a link to the Patreon account down below. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.